Welcome to Simple Local Life, everyone. It's Jen, and today I am back at Gauss Home Hardware and Furniture, and I have two of my friends here with me, Mark and Peter. How are you guys this morning? I guess this afternoon, isn't it?
Afternoon.
Yeah, we're great.
It's a crazy day, isn't it?
It's a crazy day.
The question is, what day is it?
It's Wednesday. I've checked
okay.
a couple times.
Okay.
It's been such a busy time, and such a lot happening here on the South Shore, and a lot happening here at Gauss Home Hardware and Furniture. I know you guys have been very busy and kind of going out of your way, making sure to be able to help everyone who's dealing with the effects and the remnants of the Hurricane Dorian that just swept through on the weekend. You guys have got a lot of people coming in and out.
A lot of people looking for lots of emergency type products. You know,
Yes.
your batteries and your propane and your generators, and yeah, it's been hectic.
It has been hectic.
One phone call after another, after another, after another, and then we're just trying to help,
Yes.
size everyone up.
I know, and you guys kind of went above and beyond. I know even through the weekend when the store wasn't able to be open because of power outages, but I know every day they managed to open up a little bit so that people could come in and get their supplies, mostly storm supplies and of course generators. That was a big one.
That's the key one.
That's the key one.
Yes, that's the topic of the week.
It's the topic. Still a lot of people here on the South Shore without power.
Yeah.
Yes, there are.
Not
Yeah.
expected until Friday.
I know, it keeps getting pushed. So today's Wednesday, now they're talking Friday. That will be almost a week for some people without power.
That's a long time.
So generators is kind of the big topic. So we thought we'd have you guys on today and talk a little bit about generator safety. Because, you know, a lot of people are buying these generators for the first time, or they're trying to save their food or keep things going in their home. So they're just saying, I need a generator. But really, there's things you should be thinking about. Like, what do you need to know or think about before you actually say, I want to buy a generator?
I think one of the first questions you have to ask yourself is, what do I really need to operate in a house?
Okay.
Do you need every light on in the house? Do you need to have your hot water on? Do you need all those things?
Okay.
And if you start paring it down, most people it's just like, I want my freezer and I want my fridge
Right.
and I want to be able to have lights.
Okay.
And then we take it from there. And then that's where I guide them over to Mark. But essentially, if you look at what you need, just make a little list, a cheat list saying, do I need my heater? Do I need this? Do I need that? And then from there, we can try to right size you, and then we'll try to guide you on the best way, and the sizing of the generator.
So is it what you need to power or the size of your home? Like, what are the things that, Mark, is it all of that?
It's what you need to power.
What you need to power,
Yeah,
okay.
the size of the home really isn't relevant.
Okay.
It's what you're trying to power.
Okay.
And like Peter said, if you want to have your hot water, you want to have your stove, you want to have your microwave, then you need a big generator,
Okay.
and you need it wired into a generator panel, and you need to get an electrician involved and have it wired into your home.
Okay, so you can get a generator, you can just do without that, right?
You can, yes.
But
So-
the next step, I guess, is getting it wired in.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Myself, for example, I have a small generator. I just run some cords in to keep my fridge and my freezer going,
Okay.
and have a light on in the evening.
Yeah.
That's fine. If that's all you want to do, you just need to buy a small generator, like a 42
Yep.
or something.
Okay.
Run a few cords in. We have other options of running cords in, so you don't have to run them in through your door. We actually have a box that you can plug it on the outside, and then on the inside you have like 6 receptacles.
Okay.
So you can just plug your cords in from there and run them through your house, so you don't have a window open or a door open or something like that.
Okay.
So there's lots of
There's things you can get and things you can use. And I see some questions coming in, and if you guys have questions, we'll try to get through some of them while we're live, but if not, we'll answer them after. So if you have any questions about generators or about safety with your generator, you can ask them now. I know Tina's asking, she needs her fridge, freezer, and pellet stove in the winter. So like what size, let's just say, what size is someone looking for with that? Is that, not to put you on the spot?
No, that's okay. I mean, my thing is on fridges, you're going from, depending on how old it is, it could be from 700 to 800 watts and maybe up to 1,000 watts. So if you say that for each one, your pellet stove is not going to be using that much.
No, your pellet stove.
Because it's just a blower, because you have, or just a hopper to feed the thing with.
Okay.
So you're able to control it. Right off the bat, I would say you're looking at something like a 4200.
Okay.
That would help, that would fit that size.
Okay, so Tina, that's where you'd be starting with a 4200, and if you have other questions, of course you want to come in and talk to
absolutely,
someone
yeah.
here and get some more information. But again, if you have questions, and I know I saw one come up about, do you have this size? Peter, can you give us just a brief update on? I know
Well-
the U-Hauls are coming here,
Yeah.
but all those are spoken for, right?
Yes, the U-Hauls are coming here.
Yeah.
Our first shipment came in today, and they're all spoken for. We are expecting another shipment tomorrow, and we'll be making calls. We have a list of names. If you want to put your name on the generator, please give us a call. Ask for the tool department, and we'll put your name on the list. And when we have one available, we'll call you.
Okay.
We'll be putting more orders in when we have an opportunity. Right now, we're trying to get everyone we can.
Okay, so if you've ordered a generator already and your name is on the list, they will be calling you here at the store for the U-Hauls coming today. They'll be calling everyone by early this afternoon, is what I've heard. If your generator is in those two U-Hauls, and then just stay tuned. But if you don't have your name on the list, they should call and
They should call, yes.
Figure out what
Yep.
size
They
they
should
need
get it on the list.
and get on the list. Okay, so we've covered that. Tina's asking another question, and this is one we were chatting about. So I don't know if this falls into the safety tips, but can I leave it sit outside in the rain or snow?
If you're going to have it outside when it's running, you should have it under a lean-to, something where it's protecting or keeping the weather off it. That way, the water elements and they won't get into the generator. That's the key. Some people are having operating out in the elements, and that's where it could cause trouble. You could a chance for electrocution or shocking yourself. Right, Mark?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you shouldn't have them out in the rain and snow, because you have a live cord plugged into this generator that's producing power. So you should, you should have
Yep.
a lean-to or some type
A
of little.
lean-to, like, is this something you can get, or you're just suggest like what would people be? What do you mean by lean-to?
A lean-to, some people could have a board they put up and they could have put a roof on it just at the side of their house, or something like a dog house with open ends on both sides so it's not closed. Something to that effect. It gets back to when you're doing the planning. Right now
Right.
we're on a reactive mode.
Yeah.
Something goes wrong, they want a generator, they have things they want it running. That's good in the short term. Now we're just with no power. It could run outside because it's not raining, or it wasn't raining earlier on today. But if it is raining, you want it enclosed in some type of element. And it doesn't have to be very complicated. Like I said, just a lean-to
lean-to.
or something like a dog house. A little dog house just shaped around it to keep the elements off it, open on the end so the air can go through. That'd be perfect.
And you want to make sure your exhaust, because the exhaust is really hot. It's like the exhaust in your car.
Okay.
So if you make a lean-to or a little building to put it in, you have to look at your exhaust and make sure that's not against any wood.
Okay.
There's lots of space around there, because that can set your lean-to on fire, and you can have other issues.
Okay.
Along with closeness to your house, you don't want to keep them real close to your house as well.
Okay, sorry. Just want to make sure everyone can hear us. I know we've got a lot of people here in the store shopping. Sorry.
Yeah, you don't want to keep them too close to your house either. They recommended the 5 feet minimum.
5 feet
minimum from the house.
From the house.
From an open vent, especially. Yeah.
Okay, from
So
an
like
open
a
vent.
window, like you could have a kitchen window above where it's running. You don't want that because if the wind's blowing, it can blow it back in.
Oh my goodness. Oh, these are
So
good tips, because this
you
time of
know-
year people have their windows open. and-
Yep. And the other thing is, if you have a garage, if it's outside, sometimes they want to keep it out of the element.
Okay.
Leave your garage door open. You shouldn't really run in the garage, but if you have to, make sure it's open.
Make sure you do.
There are vents open and your door going to your house is closed, so no exhaust. It's not ideal, but in the short term,
Is this the carbon monoxide?
Yes,
is
yes,
this
absolutely.
Is this another thing? So that's why it shouldn't be inside your garage unless the door is open.
Yeah.
These should never be run inside your home.
no,
No.
not at all. Not at all.
No, so it needs to be outside, at least
Yeah.
5 feet away from your
Yep.
home. Watch the venting, so for open windows or anything like that. What other kind of, sorry. Okay, I think we answered that one. Thanks, Tina. If you guys have any questions while we're live about generators, about storing them, about using them, safety tips, just ask now and we can get these guys to help us
Yep.
answer. Any other safety tips you think people should be aware of when it comes to using a generator?
Well, the other thing is cords. You're running a lot of cords in there.
Yes.
So make sure you have the proper size cord for what you're running.
Okay.
So if you're trying to run your fridge or your freezer, like Peter said, depending on the age and what they draw for power, you can
Yes.
see on the name tag what they draw for power.
Okay.
Make sure your cord is heavy enough to do that. Don't go with a little 18 gauge lamp cord to try to plug in your fridge because it will heat up and that could cause issues as well.
Yeah.
So make sure that the wire size is sized properly for the cord for what you have plugged in.
So are there special cord? Okay, I don't have a generator, so I'm asking like someone who's potentially going to be ordering one. Is there a special cord then you need to, if I want to run my fridge and my freezer? Am I getting a special cord or?
If you're running your fridge and your freezer, what you should have is a minimum of like a 14 gauge wire.
14 gauge wire.
Which is good for 15 amps.
Okay.
And so you should have one run to your fridge and one run to your freezer.
Oh, okay.
Because again, if you try to load too much, it's no different than loading too much on your electrical circuit in your home.
Okay.
You still need to. That plug is giving you 15 amps. You
Okay.
can't load it any more than 15 amps.
Okay.
And you need the wire to support that.
Okay, so these are really good. I feel like a lot of people just kind of grabbed a generator and went home and started plugging
absolutely.
stuff in and trying to protect everything.
I mean, what we say is when we're talking to someone who's either sizing up right now and not in panic mode is take a look, get a sheet of paper, identify what you want to use, and then talk to an electrician. And then we could work together and guide you and A, make sure it's right size, and B, know that you're comfortable with what you're getting. It will operate everything you need.
Right, because these are an investment for people.
They are.
I know it varies in prices depending on the size, which we talked about at the beginning, but it's definitely investment and something people want to have for the long term. So we had another question. So she has an oil hot water furnace. Are there any issues using a generator?
No.
No, you can run oil hot water.
Okay, Debbie, did you get that? You're fine with that one. Okay. Anything else about safety tips about the carbon monoxide? I guess we've covered that.
Yeah, the other thing is refueling.
Okay, refueling.
When they're low on fuel,
Yeah.
you should turn it off.
Okay.
Leave it cool down for a little while. I think they recommend 10 minutes. Just leave it cool down
Okay.
before you refuel. Make sure that you don't spill any gas again on the exhaust or like there's hot components there.
Yes,
So if you
yes.
spill any gas, when you have an instant fire.
Oh my goodness.
So make sure you always turn it off and make sure you give it at least 10 minutes before you refuel and then start it.
Okay, that's a good one. I hope you guys all got that. So when you're refueling, and I guess how long does it last if you fill it up? It depends on the size.
It depends on the size and what's being run. They say on an average tank on ones that we're selling, if it's rated for say 4,200 watts and you're using only about 2,000 watts on it, so you're not much demand on it,
Yeah.
you're looking about 5 to 7 hours, maybe 8 hours.
Okay.
So on repeat. But that brings up another question. Do you need to run it continuously?
Right.
Can you run it for a while to make sure everything's frozen
Right.
and then turn it off? You're saving gas. Otherwise, you'll have to have jerry cans and jerry cans
Right.
to keep things going.
And I've heard this too, people should, when it comes to preparing to buying a generator, instead of, like you said,
Oh, yeah.
people are just like kind of just quickly just reacting and buying them, but you kind of need to be prepared too about where you're storing this gas, right?
Yeah.
If people are not, haven't had this before. So if you've got a generator, you've filled up your cans hoping to get through till Friday, what's the best place for people to be storing their gas? Is there any kind of
Away from the generator.
away from the generator? Okay.
Don't keep it in the same little container.
Okay. So you want to have it away.
Absolutely.
Okay.
In an approved container, like
Approved container.
our gas cans.
Yes.
And I would, same as your lawnmower, keep it out in your garage or your shed or whatever. And when
Okay.
you need it, go out there to get it. But
Okay.
don't have it sitting 5 feet away from your generator.
Okay, so everyone should keep this in mind, and I think that was a really important tip earlier about refilling. Make sure you let it cool for about 10 minutes at least,
Yep.
and keep your gas away from it. I think we've covered the questions that have come in. Anything else you guys think that people should be aware of for those who have generators? Because I think a lot of people didn't think about a lot of this; they just kind of grabbed one. Or for people thinking about them, anything else we should be mentioning?
I think the sizing is very important.
Yeah.
And one lady said, she wants to run her fridge or freezer and a light or something like that.
Yeah.
And so, we kind of discussed that briefly and said a 4,200 is fine.
Yeah.
I think most people, once they get a generator and they see that, I can run my fridge and freezer, now I would like to run my microwave. Now I would like to have, maybe
Gonna
the
do a little
internet
vacuuming.
on.
I heard someone say. I was like, okay.
But it kind of grows. So when you are
Yeah.
purchasing, make sure that, okay, this is fine for now.
Okay.
But I may want to have my microwave on, or I may want the pump on. So maybe, look at that next size up, because, cost-wise, it isn't that much more to bump
Right.
up the size.
Okay.
And that, in the long run, that may be a better
And
choice for you.
yeah, and there are various options. You can, if you're looking at and you have a budget, a good budget, you could also go to ones that automatic transfers. So as soon as the power comes off,
Right.
it goes on. You're talking propane, but you're talking a big investment. Again,
Yeah.
your house is going to be wired. You get the right generator.
Right.
So there are many options we can go over. When we
And then they'd be looking to hire an electrician.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys can help guide someone
Yeah.
through this process
Yeah.
if they come in and say, look, this is what I want. I want my generator to just come right on. But that's a process you need an electrician.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
It's like any other project. You have to take it one step at a time and
Yeah.
do your homework.
It's not an off-the-shelf type
That's
of thing.
not-
You have to sit down.
That's a custom.
Yeah.
That's a custom, yeah, okay. So I think these were really valuable, important tips. And do you guys, just when we were talking about the investment piece, is there financing available on generators?
There is financing
Okay, so
available.
there is financing available, which I know in these kind of situations, and I think a lot of people now, besides reacting to this, are sort of panicking about what the weather, we still are in hurricane season, we've
Yes.
got another winter ahead of us, and these extended power outages seem to be more the norm than they used to be.
It is.
Yep.
So if you haven't got one yet, but you've been wanting to get one, there is financing available. You can talk to someone here about that. And of course, I did want to mention again that you guys do have a pretty great deal going on right now with your King Canada generators. So for the month of September, if you bought a generator here already in September, or you're planning to buy one, then your name is going in, and someone's going to win their purchase.
Someone's going to win their generator.
That's
Someone's
right.
going to win their
Yes.
generator. So if you've been really thinking about one, I would really suggest you come in and talk to someone here. Get some of
Absolutely.
those
Yep.
questions answered, like they mentioned. Come knowing a few details, and have a good chat with them about what is the best size for you,
Yep.
and make sure you understand all the safety tips before you go home and start using it to kind of keep things going.
And you said you think you might want one?
I'm thinking
If this
very
could be-
strongly.
It could be your free one. Get your name
You
in the
never
hat.
know. I've got a little time to still keep thinking. Yeah, we've always just kind of got by, but this
Yeah.
time
And you can put it on your Fairstone card. You get 6 months, no interest, no payments.
there we go.
There you go.
I might have to go downstairs. Well, I might have to
I'm
wait for
walking
the
into this
U-Hauls
one.
and see.
Yeah. We need
Give
another
me-
U-Haul.
I know. I need to get
U-Hauls
on
are
the.
circling.
I'd have to
That's
get
it.
on the list like everybody else.
Yeah.
So again, if you are interested in one, you can message Gauss Home Hardware on their Facebook page, or you can call the store, get your name put on the list, and they will get back to you as soon as they can
as we
whenever
can,
those are in. And I know you guys are going above and beyond getting the generators here, sending up U-Hauls themselves, and another 2 coming today. So that'll be good news for some people who've been
will be.
waiting.
It will be.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thank you guys so much. I know I dragged you away. It's a busy day here in the store, but
Yeah, we're not busy, are we? We're not busy, right, Pete?
Are we caught in? I didn't know. They started.
lots happening here
Sunday.
at Gauss Home Hardware and Furniture. And if you have any questions about generators or safety tips, please ask them below, and we'll get them answered for you. And if you are using a generator, please take heed to all the things mentioned today. Make sure you're keeping your home and your family safe. Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks.
you.
Take care. Bye bye.